So staging is probably one of the most important aspects to selling your home. Why is it so important? Just like many of us have look on Airbnb, right, and decide which place we want to stay. And don't you think the ones with nice photos, nicely staged, and where the home looks warm and cozy and welcoming will get more hits? It will get your likes and you are more inclined to check into it. Staging is kind of like that. So I believe in staging so much, I actually personally cover that for all my seller clients. Today I'm going to share with you the top 10 staging tips on how to make your home, make your property look welcoming, attractive, and it shows well online, it drives traffic to the home, and end up getting you a top dollar sale. So number one, if possible, move out the home. I know this could be a difficult decision depending on your life situation, but a vacant home always shows better. So number one tip is to just move out. Maybe this is a time for you to consider that vacation that you've been wanting to take in Europe for years. This would be your window opportunity to just take that vacation. Or consider temporary housing. There are Airbnb in every city we're in, and many of those hosts actually would be happy for long-term weeks on end renters. So you could find those temporary housing options. So number one tip, move out. Okay. Number two tip is to depersonalize the home. If at all possible, have the home professionally staged. If you can, move some of the furniture out. Put away all your personal photos, personal sports, or political affiliation, anything that indicates anything personal. I would put them all away, because you want whoever comes through not to be offended by anything hung on the wall, or to be able to envision this as their own space, not somebody else's space. So this is number two tip, is to depersonalize. Anything that is personal to you, I would say put them away, store them in temporary storage, store them in the garage if you cannot physically move everything out of the house. Okay, number three tip, use a mirror for small space. When you walk into a small space and see a mirror, it's kind of like you walking into a dance studio, right? All of a sudden you see a lot more space, and you don't see the physical boundary of that space anymore. So use a mirror for small space. Number four tip, for large spaces, use a rug to section and kind of frame the space better. Like this bedroom over here is oversized bedroom. We have a king size bedroom right here in the middle, and underneath it is a carpet that kind of just frame that space a little bit more to a cozy section, while the rest of it still shows a nice abundance of space. That is number four tip. Use a rug to frame the space, especially on large spaces. And number five tip, also for large spaces, you want to use accessories to layer the space. Let's take this bedroom for example. There is a nice size California king bedroom. On top of the bed is pillows, and we have 4 different kinds of pillows to kind of make it cozy. And then there's 2 different type of fabric on top of the bed to kind of layer the bed. So to kind of frame it up, it gives a nice and cozy neutral color feel, which kind of immediately make people feel welcome into this space. Oh, and by the way, if any of this is too confusing and you can't remember them all, don't worry. Click the link below. We do have a staging guide that is downloadable to you. Number 6, for unusual spaces like a wide hallway or extra space in the corner of a living space, or the space in between the dining area and the living area and the kitchen, be creative with those spaces. You could place a desk in those unusual spaces to give people idea that may be a desk area, that could be a home office. It could maybe put a couple of partition panel to block it off and as a separate Zoom space or social media space, or a reading area. So be creative with odd spaces. Number 7 tip, use a potted plant to fill empty space. Sometimes it could be a corner of a large room. Sometimes it could be in between, two panels or windows. Use a potted plant to kind of fill that empty space and bring some green into the indoor space. Okay, number 8, for homes with multiple bedrooms, you might want to stage one of the room as a boy or girl's room. So you want to keep that room, a kid's room, gender neutral. Try to use gender neutral color. Again, allow people the creativity, allow people the imagination without not making it a boy's room or girl's room. Try to make it gender neutral as possible. Number 9, paint the interior of the home neutral color. My favorite shades of color, and it's actually pretty popular, is Navajo White by Kelly Morse and San Francisco Fog. Navajo White is a creamy white color, and San Francisco Fog is a light gray color. Those neutral color that goes well with a lot of different color scheme and furniture scheme. And the purpose of a muted wall color is to make the furniture pop. Whatever you place in front of it, people's eyes are actually drawn to the furniture, the decor, and less distracted by the wall color. So use a neutral color paint, a muted color paint to accentuate, to make the furniture pop. Number 10 and the final tip is to stage the front entrance of your home. Bring in a potted plant. Bring in some colorful flowers on the potted plant, or a bench with some toss pillows, or a rocking chair if the space is big and wide enough. Make sure that when the first impression really counts when people walk in, some elements of welcome, elements of homeliness will really make a difference. Have a nice welcome floor mat right by the front steps, also will welcome people in. So make sure you stage the front entrance and the first impression really counts. Now you hear my top 10 staging tips. Check out this video here on what I did to increase the curb appeal on one of my latest listings.